Today's all about maintenance, the accessory work. So some of the things that I like to use, I like to use a lacrosse ball. I use this a lot on breaking up tissue in my feet. I also use a lot of floss. Floss is like kind of like a bicycle inner tube. And then I get into the foam roller a little bit. So let's get into some of those techniques right now. We can start with flossing because I think it's the first item on that accessory list. Things that I end up flossing pretty often are this area right here on my arm and like right above the elbow pit area. And then my calves sometimes end up getting tight from all of the running. So how I apply this, I'll start right here. I do one soft, like half of it is very tight, half of it is not so tight. So I'll pull tight and then not so tight. I'll pull tight and not so tight. I'll go through the whole length of the floss. I will fast forward this. Then I can tuck in some of the excess. And now I can work on stretching this area out and really getting a workout while everything is nice and tight. And these are just some of the movements I do as I'm flossing. Also, if my knees are feeling junky, I'll floss below the knee, and then I'll floss right above the knee, and I'll go through some very nice and controlled stretches while I'm flossing. It's the important part when you're flossing is that you take it off as fast as you can take it off. Putting it on is not important to do fast, taking it off is. And what that does is, while all that blood is being restricted, when you take it off, all the blood flows back in to that area, and that feels really good. Step number 2, we'll talk about lacrosse. And this is just a lacrosse ball. You can use this to do a lot of things. I like getting into this area with a lacrosse ball, and I use it a lot on my feet. So some of the things I do is I'll roll across the top of the ball. I'll roll forward and back. It's back up here so it's in the video. I'll roll forward and back, and if my feet are really tight, it lets me know very quickly that my feet are very tight. It lets me know about all the miles we ran this weekend. I also like to break up this heel area, and I just move the ball around, putting some weight on it and breaking up all of that tissue. The shoulder stuff, where I think this is really important, I generally do up against a wall, but I can also do that on the floor on my yoga mat, and I'll find some hot spots. I actually have one like right here. Now we'll get into position. Boom, and just work that angle, and then I may even work moving my arm through different ranges of motion while I have the ball engaged. And here I'm just giving you some examples. And this is all stuff that you can play with. You can make harder or easier depending on where you feel the need. And then the foam roller, this gets a lot of attention. I foam roll my back very often. I'll turn the foam roller so I'm getting the inside of the thigh area. And if I find a spot that's delicate, or if I find a spot that hurts, instead of coming off of it, I'll actually find the spot that hurts and hang out like right here and take a few breaths. Just let everything relax. No pain face. The pain is there, I understand, I can feel the pressure. It feels very hot right now, it's okay. It will release in a few seconds. Boom, as it releases, I might move up and down a little bit, and then I'll find the next spot that's sticky. Boom, there we go. And I'll just hang out there. So the accessory work is it's just maintenance, and some of the tools we use is the foam roller or the floss or the lacrosse ball. When I'm traveling, generally, I don't have a big foam roller, but I have the lacrosse ball with me all the time, and I can also lacrosse ball sticky spots in my shoulders from the back on the floor, just like I would if it was a part of my foot. And again, here, I may go through full range of motion and feel if any of that is sticky. So that's your accessory work.